Thanks for tuning in to Chats with Your Self-Worth BFF. This is your host, Mikaela Filar, where we are here to skyrocket your self-worth, heal your shit, and take your power back. Welcome to the chat. Hey guys, welcome back to Chats with Your Self-Worth BFF. It's your host, Mikaela Filar. Today we are going to be chatting all about a story of what's going on in my life right now, something that's kind of big and exciting that I'm excited to share with you. And if you're on my email list, you've already gotten the news, but I wanted to kind of elaborate and touch on it as far as like sharing it with my podcast people as well. So before we get into that, I am having a midsummer sale that I'm super excited about. And I just wanted to go over what exactly I'm offering in this midsummer sale for you. If you're interested, all of the checkout links are going to be in the show notes below for you. And if you have any questions at all, my DMs are always open on Instagram, of course. And then also you can just email the team. The email for that is going to be in the show notes below as well. So first we have the buy 3 one-on-one intuitive energetic healing sessions, get one free option. So the total for that ends up being 1,197. So it's essentially like getting mentorship, but obviously you're not getting access to like all of my other courses and stuff, nor text access, but it will be one session per month for 4 months, and you are going to be, held accountable, which is so huge when it comes to this work. And this gives you the opportunity for me to really like look in on your energy, see what quote unquote blocks you have, right? Or obstacles that we can look in on, and you can shift, heal, and then quantum leap towards whatever it is that you're desiring to create for yourself. There's so many different ways and things that we can do inside of these sessions when you have 4 back to back like this. So really, if this is something that like, if you're desiring to create something for yourself and you could use a little extra help, or if you are healing through something and you want to like accelerate your healing process, this option would be really great for you. Or yeah, just it would be great. I could go on and on because there's so many different routes that you can go, but I'll leave it at that. If you have any questions, like I said, DMs are open. I also have a $50 off for my one-on-one intuitive energetic healing sessions. So the cost for that would be $349. And then also I'm bringing in 30-minute sessions. So this is going to be $150. Okay. So originally it's $199. It's on sale for $150. So 30-minute intuitive energetic healing sessions. Okay. So if you are interested in any of those, amazing. I also have one more thing that I'm actually really excited to be bringing out. This is bringing back. This is something that I did at the beginning of my business, and I called it quantum leaping over obstacles. Okay. So what this is a class, and the date is to be determined. Once the spots are full, then I will set the date. So there's 10 spots available. Each person in class, I will go around and they'll be able to ask me 1 or 2 questions that I'll intuitively look in and channel for them the answer to. This is an incredible opportunity for you to be like, why am I bloating all the time? Or how can I help get rid of my acne? Or what's the root cause of my acne? How can I shift it and heal it? It could be blocking me, quote unquote, blocking me, right? I don't like to use the word block. I like to use the word obstacles because it's just an obstacle that you're just shifting and jumping over. So, what is an obstacle that's getting in my way of reaching my financial goals, right? So, there's all these different questions that you can ask. And then I can channel the emotional root cause. We can give you some physical, energetic tools so that you can shift them and then quantum leap yourself towards whatever it is that you're desiring to create for yourself. Okay. So those are all of the options that you have for the midsummer sale. If you're interested in them, like I said, all of the checkout links are going to be in the show notes below. And my DMs are always open, or you can email the team and they'll send you the link, whatever you're interested in. Moving on, getting into today's topic, today's story. Like I said, so excited to be sharing this with you guys. I started my business of intuitive energetic healing in March of 2023. And when I started, well, hold on. I feel like I have to even take it back even further, because this is a story of like trusting my intuition and how trusting my intuition has created the reality that I have currently. So I had been in network marketing for about 4 years. So I started my business in 2019. Okay. So however many years that is. And really put all my eggs in one basket when it came to that business. Like, I built it to the top 2% of the company. I did really well. I got a lot of praise, a lot of recognition, which is a whole other story and a whole other topic. But um, I really did put all of my eggs in one basket. I was like, I'm going to make it to the top of the company. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. Blah blah blah. All of my eggs in one basket, right? Like, there was nothing stopping me. And then things started to shift. Things started to change. I started to like kind of realize some things about myself. I started to change who I was and the way that I don't know, did things, I guess, and like talk to people. And I saw like how I was acting and how growing this business had like kind of changed me in a way that I was starting not to really love. So it just didn't feel right. Like, I just woke up one day and nothing felt right. Like, I was in a relationship that wasn't right. I was in a business that wasn't right. I just, nothing fucking felt right. Okay. And I mean, the relationship that I had realized this in 2021, and I stayed in it for another, like 6 months, broke up the relationship, but still was in network marketing. And then, which, like, there was nothing wrong in that relationship other than I just didn't feel like it was right. I didn't feel like he was my person, right? And that's because he wasn't, and I wasn't his person. And we both, I think, knew that, but we were both like settling because it was what's comfortable, right? And I will not lie to you, like, leaving that relationship was really fucking hard because it was comfortable. Leaving network marketing was really fucking hard because I had built the business, I had done the work, but I just didn't feel right, and I wasn't fulfilled, and I wasn't happy, and my intuition was screaming at me to leave. So eventually I left both, right? So long story short, eventually I left both. I listened to my intuition. I couldn't stop like not hearing it. And I had like a dark night of the soul. My whole life basically blew up before my eyes. And all for the right reasons, right? Everything for a reason. I'm so grateful that it did. And I learned so much about myself. And obviously, that's what led me to this work that I do now. Fast forward to uh, 2023, and I've been doing this work since October 2022. And then by January, February, March of 2023, I was like, I want to do this. Like, I want to help people the way that I've been helped. I need to share what I'm doing. I need to share what I'm learning. Like, it's just so good. Right? And I know it's just like life-changing. And so I started talking on Instagram, my Instagram story about it. I started sharing it. I started talking to my friends about it. I started intuition, mastery, and started learning intuition and honing in on my intuitive abilities. And it just grew and grew and grew. And mind you, when I decided I'm going to start a business in intuition, right? Like, I'm going to become an intuitive energetic healer in medium. I wasn't like telling everybody, okay? Because that's like the number one thing when you have an idea for business. It's important to kind of keep your ideas to yourself. Like, find the select few who you know are going to get it or are going to are going to support you. Because if we don't, and we're just like telling everybody, what that is an opportunity for those people to give us advice. Because sometimes when we tell people things, they just think that like we're looking for advice. And sometimes we're not. Sometimes we are, but sometimes we're not. And that was just the case for me. I had also learned that like I do not take advice from anybody who is not where I desire to be. So I solely like I was up my mentor's ass with this. Like I was learning everything she knew. I was in every course that she had put out. I was just doing whatever I could in more ways than one to make sure that like I was learning everything that I could learn and doing everything that I could to like build this business. Now, that doesn't mean that like I was raking in the dough at first, right? Because I wasn't at all. um and I really struggled all of 2023. Like, not gonna lie. I honestly really struggled all of 2022 also. Like, 2022 was really fucking hard because I wasn't aligned in my business, and so I wasn't bringing in the money that I could have been bringing in. Not only that, but, like, I went through a lot of stuff personally in my personal life, and I also just didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. Like, I was thinking that I was gonna become an ultrasound technician, you guys. Like, no, like, you can't nothing wrong with that, don't get me wrong, but, like, could anybody here see me becoming an ultrasound technician? Like, no. Like, Mikaela, no. Yeah, no, and that was, like, when I was really depressed and had a lot of anxiety and just didn't know what I was, and so I was like, "I'm just gonna go get a big girl job, like, I'm gonna go back to school and, like, all the things and give up on my dream," because I just was, like, not myself. So I got my head back on straight, and I remembered who the fuck I was, and, did the healing I needed to do, and, I mean, the healing never ends, as you know, but I digress. Basically, while I was building my intuitive energetic healing business, I had gone back to bartending. I tried going back to bartending for 3 months. It didn't fucking work. Like, I've if you don't know this about me, I've been in the service industry since I was 16. And so, and then off and on in my late 20s, like, it really stopped around 27. But I'll, like, pick up a couple shifts here and there to, like, bartend or do a special event or whatever. But, like, so I tried going back to bartending because it was what was familiar. And my higher self, like, my intuition, the universe was like, "This isn't gonna fucking work." It didn't work. I got the job. I did okay for, like, 3 months, and then I was, like, absolutely miserable, and I was like, "This is a joke." Like, I just can't, like, these people and these men in khaki pants thinking that they're the fucking shit because they're the manager of the restaurant and trying to tell me what to do and when to come into work, like, I just can't do it. I can't do it. I just didn't take it seriously enough, and this was, like, a nicer restaurant, so I got fired real quick. So anyways, lost that job. That was great. I was not mad about that. I was like, "Okay, cool." And it was on a Sunday. I, like, went into work on a Sunday, and then they, like, I walked in and they had, like, my final paycheck, and they're like, "We're firing you." And I was like, "Oh, cool. I have this Sunday off." Like, oh, it was a funny situation. Anyways, I digress. So, did bartending for a little bit and then was like, okay, obviously this isn't going to work out. And then I did fitness classes. So went back to fitness, taught fitness classes here and there, like a few times a week. Then one of my really good friends called me, and she had and has still a very successful coaching business in a different field, and needed a virtual assistant. And I kind of told her my situation, and she was like, "Well, do you want to, like, work for me?" And I was like, "Sure." So I did. And the job just fell into my lap. I wasn't looking for it, but, like, at the time really needed it. And so I did both. For I did fitness classes, and I've been doing VA work for the last year, a little over a year it's been, while building my business as an intuitive energetic healer and medium. Now, this isn't something that I talked about a lot on social media or on the podcast because I don't want to confuse my audience. I don't want, you guys to think that, like, I'm doing all these different things. Like, I want you guys to know me as the intuitive energetic healer and medium. So, like, that's what I'm going to mostly talk about. Right. So, with that being said, know that, like, when you see somebody on Instagram that's, like, building a business and they're, like, doing whatever they want, like, or it looks like they're doing whatever they want, but, like, and they're only doing their business, like, they might not be doing just their business. Like, they might have something on the side that's helping supplement that income that they want to be eventually replacing with their own business. But, like, you got to do what you fucking got to do. Like, it just is what it is, right? And sometimes you have to do the job that you don't love to fucking do because you have to build your business. You have to build trust. It takes time, right? And so, like, giving yourself that time, you don't want to put that pressure of, like, going all in on your business when you don't have a solid foundation and then you're putting all this pressure, and that just doesn't energetically work out, like, because you're like, oh my God, I need to make X amount from my business. And your business is just a little baby. It's just a baby, right? You don't want to put so much pressure on just the baby. You've got to like give it time to grow and flourish and build a foundation and build trust with your audience. And then when the time is right, and you know it's time to let go so you can go all in on your business, that's when you do, right? But don't compare your chapter 1 or chapter 0, to somebody's chapter 8 or chapter 5 or whatever. Period. End of story. Don't compare, because there's no such thing as comparison. Like, everyone is on their own timeline. I've talked about this so many times in the podcast, but like, everyone is on their own timeline. You're on your own timeline, and your timeline is absolutely perfect. And if you're desiring to create a different reality for yourself, then like, just do it. You just got to start. And also remember that like, in the beginning stages, it's okay to have more than one job. Like, you're gonna need it, period. And there's, so many people who like want to create their own business, and then they like don't have the foundation, or they go all in on their business, and then like it crumbles because there's so much pressure on it, and they didn't like ease into it, and they don't have a solid foundation. And when you don't have that, it just doesn't end up doing very well. It puts a lot of pressure on you, and it puts a lot of pressure on your business, and it's just not good energetically. So keep the business, or keep the side job, right, for as long as you can. And you guys, also, pro tip here, something that really helped me when I was growing my business is like, when people ask me, oh, what do you do? I'm not saying, oh, I do fitness. I'm also a VA, and I have a business as an intuitive energetic healer and medium. No, I stopped giving like power or energy to fitness. I stopped giving power to VA stuff. And honestly, that made a difference as well. I was like, people ask me what I do. I said, oh, I have an online business. I'm an intuitive energetic healer and medium. Here's my Instagram if you really want to know the details, right? So once I just decided, like, no, this is what I do, like, this is my main source of income. I am cutting myself off from any other source of income, and this is what I'm doing, period. And it's going to work. And having that like delusional fucking faith and confidence in yourself and in what you're creating for yourself, right? That's what I did. And it made such a big difference when it came to building, and when it came to having that confidence to let go of the VA stuff, right? So in January, March, and April, did a little like episode about me going to a retreat. I went to 2 retreats. Okay. The first retreat was for my intuitive mentor. The second retreat was for my business mentor. And during this time when I was at the intuitive retreat, my mentor was like, it's time for you to cut ties with the other things, like your business. Like, you need to go all in on your business. It's fucking with like the energy of your business. And I'm like, I don't like, my ego event, it just like shrunk. Mind you, my intuition was telling me this whole time that it's time to let go. But my human brain, my ego, I'm like, but I'm comfortable. Like, this is fine, because going all in on me was fucking terrifying. And I didn't think I was ready. But once I heard it from my intuitive mentor, told me that, and I was like, okay, fine. So I'm like, I'm not going to give up the VA stuff, but I am going to quit fitness, because I realized like that really was taking up a lot of my time, a lot of my energy, and it was just time to let go of fitness. And so I let go of fitness and stopped teaching fitness classes. And really, like, I had the biggest month in business that next month in May, March, April, May. Yeah. May. So then it's only been going up from there. And intuition, higher self has just gotten fucking louder and louder. Like, bitch, you don't need this anymore. stopped doing VA work, and I started feeling like not good when I was like doing the work that I was doing for the VA job, which I didn't want at all. Like I wanted to feel good about it. I wanted to be excited to help and be excited to be a part of the team. And that just simply wasn't the case anymore. Like I started to have like being resentful towards the job. And the reality of that is in my human design, I am a 3/6 splenic projector, and I know that I'm out of alignment when I feel any sort of bitterness or resentment towards whatever it is that I'm doing, right? And so that is kind of a tall tale sign of me being like, okay, like now I know it's actually really time. But I had to get out of my own way, and I had to sit my ego down and be like, okay, like I got this. Like I can do this. I know I can. Like I'm good. I'm going to go all in on me. I'm going to quit the VA job. I said this and then waited another 2 weeks. Okay. And then I finally was like, Mikaela, like fucking just call her. So I called my boss, and she literally answered the phone, and I said probably like three things. I said, hey, I was like, you remember back in April when I asked for a raise? And she was like, yeah. And I'm like, well, and she goes, are you quitting? And I'm like, yeah. um, and she's like, I fucking knew it. Like she already knew. Like she's very intuitive as well. So she knew that it was just time. And she actually had hired not somebody to take over my spot, but her business is just growing massively right now. And like it's absolutely crazy how crazy her business is getting. But also duh. That's how I feel about mine too. Like duh. But with that being said, she needed to hire on somebody else too. So to take off the load of like what I was doing, because she knew that like I was also building my own business. Anyways, I digress. Everything just aligned really perfectly. And my last day is actually this Friday, the 27th, which is so crazy to say. And after that, on Saturday, the 28th, I literally leave town and I'm going on vacation to Florida, then going to Tennessee um, with my boyfriend and his family to enjoy a lake boat house trip. So really excited about that. But and then when I come back, I basically hit the ground running and I work 100% for myself, by myself, which is absolutely crazy, but nothing I haven't done before. And also just really excited and ready to see the creative flow of what happens, when I have all of this creative flow to really give all the energy that I have towards my business. So shit's about to go down. Like big things are happening. And mind you, like this month, like I quit, this month, and I have my last day on the 27th. And this is my biggest month to date. Again, I'm hitting that coveted 10K. I've already surpassed it, which is like, it's just crazy to say that out loud. And you guys, I'm not saying this to brag, like, at all. I'm saying this because if you have a crazy dream and you have some feeling inside of you, which is your intuition, but you have some feeling inside of you to go and do whatever it is that you are thinking about doing. Like you've got this crazy fucking idea, and maybe you have gone to somebody and asked somebody for advice and they like told you were crazy, and then it made you not want to go do it. Or maybe there's a part of you that's scared to go on social media and talk to your stories, and just at first you might not be talking to anybody. Like at first I was not talking to really anybody, but like, and I get that, but in order to get good, you have to start and you have to practice. And the more you do it, the better you get, right? And it's if you have some sort of intuitive pull to go and create anything, like maybe it's not something that's on social media or on online, right? Maybe it's like Bryson, for instance, my boyfriend, like he wants to create his own facility for baseball and do hitting and recovery and the gym, right? So like whatever it is for you, just go after whatever it is, no matter what anyone says. You have that pull. These downloads that you get to like go and do certain things are there. The ideas, they're there for a reason. They're there for you to act on them. They're your higher self's way of guiding you towards your most aligned, authentic, true self. And so that you can live your best life. And so if this episode like does anything, I hope that it inspires you to go and chase after your dream and to go create whatever it is that you are desiring to create for yourself, because you were put here on earth on purpose for a purpose. And you are the only person who is going to be able to know what that is, right? So take some time to sit with yourself and listen and ask higher self, what am I here for? What am I good at? How am I supposed to serve, right? How am I supposed to raise the frequency of the collective? Because that is what we are all here to do as souls. We are supposed to raise the frequency of the collective. When you heal yourself, you're going to help heal others in some way, shape, or form. It's just the way that it fucking works. When you create something to help others, it's going to help you. And that's just because it's the way that the world works, right? Like I said, I'm just here hoping to motivate you to start the crazy thing that everyone thinks you're crazy for starting. Trust your intuitive pools. If you are in something right now that doesn't feel right, doesn't feel aligned, do what you need to do to like start to make moves to change your reality. You're not stuck. You are in charge, right? You are in charge. And also, like talking about being in charge, in order to be in charge, you have to get in control of your thoughts, feelings, and what you believe to be true, right? Because those things make up your creator field or your electromagnetic field, that field that we all have around us that radiates whatever it attracts, whatever it is, it attracts our reality. Whatever energy that we're putting off, we're getting back. It's getting reflected back to us. If there's something in your reality right now that you don't like, that's on you. You've got to figure out what is it in your energy, thoughts, feelings, what you believe to be true, what's going on in your subconscious that isn't working, right? Obviously, that's creating the situation or attracting the people that you don't, want to attract. What is it about that energy that you can shift, that you can heal? That way you can change your reality. In order to get into control of your reality, you have to get into control over your creator field, which means getting in control of your energy, your thoughts, your feelings, and what you believe to be true. So that is also something that I do inside of, I'm teaching it inside of Awaken, which is my 8-week intuitive intuition training camp. Doors closed for that on Sunday. So if you're interested, I'll put the link for the waitlist below. But also, I can do it inside of a one-on-one intuitive session, especially if you buy 3, get 1 free thing. If you get 4 sessions with me, your life will change. Promise. So like I said, if you're interested in any of that, like check out the show notes below. If you like this episode, please make sure you give it a thumbs up if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're not, you're on Spotify, or if you're on Apple Podcasts, make sure you rate and review. It means so much to me, and it helps the podcast reach whoever else needs to hear this message. Yeah. I appreciate you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening. And as always, we will chat soon. Bye.